Good news! Jeremy Crawford's alive! Yay! Wait. What's up, nerds? It's your boy, the OGGM, coming to you from a rainy Monday afternoon here at Site B. It's 11 o'clock in the morning-ish. It's the 27th day of February 2023, and it's still raining, and we've just got some news from the very mysterious second out of 4 because Steiner Math playtest of 1D&D and the Ardling race has been temporarily axed from the future of Dungeons & Dragons. Yes, the 2024 Player's Handbook will not include the totally pointless Ardling race. Why? Because apparently the D&D designers decided, you know what, it doesn't really fit the story. D&D is a storytelling game now, according to Crawford. And in the story, the Ardling doesn't fit the lore of a player's handbook set for a game that supposedly has no core rule and is going to be world agnostic. So why would they need lore? Well, we've never had anything like them before. Except, yeah, you have. You've had something exactly like them before. More than once. Tiefling, Asmir, literally the same thing. What does the Ardling do? Give a Tiefling and an Asmir the head of an animal of some kind. And you made it a new race instead of just making it an option for Tieflings and Asmirs in case anybody wanted to play a Tiefling that had the head of a carrot. I guess this ruins all my plans for role-playing a half carrot in the 1D&D games. Oh, wait, if I wanted to play a half carrot, I'd head on over to Big Geek Emporium and pick up Minions on a Mission Volume 8, which features the stats for the legendary half carrot. Like, share, subscribe. So yes, sadly for all of you who gave a damn about the Ardling race in 1D&D, all, 5 of you, it's not going to be in the Player's Handbook that's coming out in 2026 for 1D&D, a game that doesn't need a Player's Handbook because it's not a new game. It's just an extension of what we already have. So why does it need a new Player's Handbook? And why do you need lore for a game that's a storytelling game set in a world agnostic setting that doesn't have any lore because nothing before 2024 existed and nothing before 1D&D matters, even though it's backwards compatible? Is your brain hurting yet? Now remember, this comes from us from playtest number 2, even though there's been 4, because apparently Wizards of the Coast has embraced Scott Steiner math. So in closing, the race that already existed, that just had a new name, will no longer be in the Player's Handbook of the, 42 races and 148 subclasses or whatever there is, because you know what? They could have just made it a new option for the extra planner races that already existed. You already had Tieflings, you already had Asmirs. You just include them in the new Player's Handbook for the game that doesn't need a new Player's Handbook because it's not a new game. And you just list it as another option for the things that a Tiefling or Asmir could have. Wings, option. Tail, option. Head of a lion, option. Body of a carrot, option. You're an outer planar being, so I don't know. But don't worry. Crawford has left that indomitable Crawford tangling precipice of, oh, well, we still might revisit them in a future product for 1D&D once we have some lore for our upcoming game that doesn't need lore because it's world agnostic and nothing that before 2014 counts, and there is no canon. So why do you need lore if there is no need for lore? And it's not a new game anyways, because it's just another extension of 5e, which means if it's not a new game, why does it need a new Player's Handbook? Couldn't you just release an errata book that costs a lot less digitally on D&D Beyond? Does your brain hurt yet? My brain hurts, but this is just, once again, another example of how Wizards of the Coast has embraced the genius of Scott Steiner math. And eventually I will show you guys the Scott Steiner math link so you know what I'm talking about. Yay! I A race that nobody cared about won't be in the book. But more importantly, for all of us who thought Jeremy Crawford was dead, he's still around and spent 40 minutes talking about something that would have taken me, what was this, 4? Oh, poor Ardlings, you're not going to be in the book. But we don't need a book because it's not a new game. And we don't need lore because it's going to be lore free because Crawford said there is no lore. Are you confused? I'm confused. You know what would be a refreshing way to clear that confusion from your brain? Head on over to my sponsor, Big Geek Emporium, and pick up your very own copy of the stat block for the legendary Half Carrot and Minions on a Mission, issue number 8. We know that you were all dreaming of using the Ardling race to finally play a Half Carrot and spending $150. But now you don't have to because mine is available for $2 on Big Geek Emporium. Head on over. Till next time, see ya. And stay safe. It's raining. No more Ardlings.